Once upon a time, in the bustling city of Port Harcourt, Rivers State, there lived a woman named Titi at Desire. Everyone called her Madam Titi. She was a beautiful woman with skin like chocolate and a smile that could sell ice cream to an Eskimo. She was married to a good man named Adebayo, who worked as an engineer at one of the big oil companies in town. They lived in a fine house in GRA and had 2 cars, and from the outside, their marriage looked as perfect as a Nollywood movie. But Madam Titi had a problem, a big serious problem that was eating her mind like termites eating wood. She didn't trust her husband, not even small. Zero trust, completely finished. Every single day, Madam Titi would wake up with one thought in her mind: is Bayo cheating on me? She would check his phone like a detective investigating a murder case. She would sniff his clothes like a dog at the airport. She would ask him 1,000 questions about where he went, who he saw, what he ate, and even what he was thinking about. Bayo, who is this Ngozi that sent you good morning on WhatsApp? She would ask, her eyes sharp like a hawk looking for prey. She's my colleague from work, Titi. We're on the same project team. Bayo would explain patiently. Colleague, my foot. Why is she sending you good morning? Does she not have her own husband to greet? Poor Bayo. The man was as faithful as a dog to its owner, but his wife couldn't see it. She was blinded to his loyalty because her own heart was hiding something dark and twisted. You see, while Madam Titi was busy suspecting her innocent husband, she was the one doing the very thing she was accusing him of. Madam Titi had a secret lover. His name was Ibrahim Musa, a handsome Hausa man who owned a big supermarket in town. They have been seeing each other for almost 1 year, meeting in hotels, talking on secret phones, kissing and doing things that married women should not be doing with men who are not their husbands. But Madam Titi's mind was twisted like a pretzel. She believed that since she was cheating, her husband must also be cheating. It's like when a thief thinks that everyone else is a thief too. So she started creating plans, wicked, elaborate, movie-style plans to test her husband's loyalty and catch him red-handed. The first test happened on a Tuesday evening. Madam Titi bought a new SIM card and saved it under a fake name, Sandra. Then she started sending her own husband romantic messages. Hi, handsome. The message read, I can't stop thinking about you. When can we meet? She sent it and waited, her heart beating fast like a drum at a carnival. Bayo was in the living room watching football when his phone beeped. He checked it, frowned and showed it to his wife. Titi, look at this nonsense message someone sent to me. I don't even know any Sandra. Madam Titi's face twisted in fake anger. What? Who is this Sandra? Let me see that phone. She grabbed the phone and read the message she herself had sent, pretending to be shocked. Bayo, who is this woman? How does she have your number? I don't know, Bayo said, genuinely confused. Maybe it's a wrong number or some scam. Delete it. Delete her number right now. And if she messages you again, tell me immediately. Bayo deleted it, shaking his head at the madness of women. But that night, Madam Titi was disappointed. Her plan had failed. Her husband had showed her the message immediately instead of hiding it. A cheating man would have hidden it. She needed a bigger test. Test number 2 came the following week. Madam Titi called her friend Amara, a thick, curvy woman from Owerri who loved trouble the way flies loved garbage. Amara, I need your help, Titi said on the phone. What do you want my help for? Amara asked, already interested. I want you to try and seduce my husband. There was silence on the phone. Then Amara laughed like a witch at midnight. Titi, have you gone mad? You want me to seduce Bayo? Yes, I want to test him. I want to see if he will fall for it. You know men, they are all the same. They see a beautiful woman and their brain enters their trousers. But Bayo is a good man, no? He has never looked at me somehow before. That is why I need to test him. Please, Amara, do this for me. I'll pay you 50,000 naira. Money spoke and Amara listened. The plan was simple. Amara would come to their house when Madam Titi was not around, wearing a tight dress that would make her body parts stand at attention like soldiers during a parade. She would try to seduce Bayo, and Madam Titi would be hiding somewhere watching and recording everything. That Saturday afternoon, Madam Titi told Bayo that she was going to the market. Then she hid in their bedroom with the door slightly opened, her phone ready to record. Right on time, Amara arrived. Knock, knock, knock. Bayo opened the door and was surprised to see Amara standing there wearing a bright red dress so tight it looked like it was painted on her body. Amara, what are you doing here? Titi is not around though. I know, Amara said, walking into the house and swaying her hips like a metronome. Actually, I came to see you. Bayo's eyebrows went up like a window blind being raised. Me? Why? Amara moved closer to him, so close that Bayo could smell her perfume, the type that cost 500 naira from Yaba Market. Bayo, I've been wanting to tell you something for a long time. What is it? Bayo stepped back, looking uncomfortable, like someone standing on hot sand. I think you're very handsome, and I think Titi doesn't appreciate you enough. A man like you needs a woman who truly understands him. She touched his chest. Bayo jumped back like she had burned him with hot iron. Amara, what is wrong with you? Are you okay? Do you have fever? In the bedroom, Madam Titi was recording everything, smiling like a cat that caught a mouse. Yes, let me see what you will do now, Mr. Faithful Husband. But what happened next shocked her. Bayo looked at Amara with disgust in his eyes. Amara, you better leave my house right now. I don't know what game you're playing, but I'm not interested. I love my wife and I would never disrespect her like that. Get out. But Bayo, leave here now before I call Titi and tell her what you tried to do. Amara didn't need to be told twice. She ran out of that house faster than a lizard escaping from a cat. In the bedroom, Madam Titi stopped recording. Her face looked like someone who bit into meat and found a stone. Her plans had failed yet again. Her husband had passed the test with flying colors. But instead of being happy that her husband was faithful, Madam Titi became even more suspicious. He's too perfect, she muttered to herself. Nobody is this clean. He must be hiding something. He must be a professional cheater who knows all the tricks. Her mind was now poisoned beyond repair. That evening, Bayo told her what happened. Titi, you won't believe what your friend Amara tried to do today. She came here and tried to seduce me. I've told you that girl is not a good friend. She's a snake. Madam Titi pretended to be shocked and angry. What? Amara did that? That witch, that betrayer. Don't worry, I will deal with her. She called Amara that night and shouted at her. Not because Amara tried to seduce her husband, but because the plan had failed. You were supposed to try harder. Madam Titi hissed on the phone. Try harder? Titi, your husband is not interested. The man loves you. Why are you even doing this? Just forget it, useless woman. Madam Titi's schemes continued for months. She created test after test. She left fake lingerie in his car to see if he would panic. He just bought it to her, asking, "Did you forget this?" She had called him pretending to be a woman from his past. He told him politely that he was married and hung up. She even hired a private investigator to follow him for 2 weeks. The investigator reported that Bayo only went to work, came home and sometimes played football with his friends on Saturday. Every test came back clean. Her husband was innocent, but Madam Titi's guilt was so heavy that she couldn't accept the truth. Meanwhile, her relationship with Ibrahim was getting more intense. They were now meeting 3, sometimes 4 times a week. Madam Titi would lie to her husband about visiting her sick aunt or going to prayer meetings or attending business seminars. Then she would actually go to a hotel room with Ibrahim, doing things that would make angels cry. Then came the day that changed everything. Madam Titi planned the biggest, most elaborate test of all. She would organize a birthday party, a surprise birthday party for Bayo at a fancy restaurant. But the real plan was to invite several beautiful single women and watch how Bayo would interact with them. She would have cameras everywhere, recording his every move, waiting for him to slip up. She spent 2 whole weeks planning this party. She invited Bayo's friends, their neighbors, some colleagues from his work, and most importantly, 5 gorgeous single women who she specifically instructed to be extra friendly with her husband. This time, she told herself, I will catch him. But what Madam Titi did not know was that while she was busy planning her elaborate trap, her secret lover Ibrahim was planning something too. You see, Ibrahim was tired of being a secret. He wanted Madam Titi to leave her husband and marry him. He had been pressuring her for months, but she kept saying, "Not yet, not yet, I need more time." Ibrahim was frustrated like a man trying to catch a slippery fish with bare hands, so Ibrahim decided to do something crazy. He would come to the birthday party. Yes, the same birthday party Madam Titi was organizing for her husband, and confess everything publicly. He was going to tell everyone that Madam Titi was his woman and that they were in love, that she should stop wasting time with her husband. He thought this was romantic. He thought Madam Titi would be happy. Oh, how wrong he was. The birthday party day arrived. The restaurant was beautifully decorated with balloons, ribbons, and a big banner that read, "Happy birthday, Bayo, best husband in the world." The irony was thicker than pudding. Guests started arriving. Bayo was genuinely surprised because Madam Titi had told him they were just going for a quiet dinner. "Surprise!" everyone shouted. Bayo was laughing and thanking people and hugging them, thanking them for coming. He looked so happy, so innocent, like a child at Christmas. Madam Titi was watching him like a vulture watching a wounded animal. She had small cameras hidden in flower vases on each table. She was recording everything. The 5 beautiful women she had invited started approaching Bayo one by one, laughing at his jokes, touching his arm, complimenting his looks. But Bayo, the faithful husband, kept introducing each one of them to his wife. "This is Titi, my beautiful wife. We've been married for 6 years." He wouldn't even take a picture with any of them without including Madam Titi in the photo. Madam Titi was becoming frustrated. Her plan was collapsing like a building with a weak foundation. Then came the moment that would shake everything like an earthquake. The restaurant door opened and Ibrahim walked in. He was dressed in an expensive white suit, holding a bouquet of red roses bigger than a baby and wearing dark sunglasses like a movie star. When Madam Titi saw him, her heart stopped beating. Her eyes became as wide as satellite dishes. Her mouth opened like fish out of water. What is he doing here?" she whispered to herself. Panic was rising in her chest like flood water. Ibrahim walked straight to the center of the room and took off his sunglasses. Everyone stopped talking. The music stopped. Even the waiters froze like statues. "Good evening, everyone," Ibrahim announced loudly, his voice filling the restaurant like a megaphone. "I'm sorry to interrupt this beautiful party, but I have something very important to say." Madam Titi tried to move towards him to stop him, but her legs felt like they were filled with concrete. Bayo looked confused. "Excuse me, sir, but who are you?" Ibrahim smiled. "I am Ibrahim Musa, and I'm here to free this woman I love from this prison of a marriage." Boza! The bombshell had been dropped. The whole restaurant went silent. So silent you could hear a mosquito thinking. "Prison?" Bayo repeated, his face showing confusion mixed with anger. "What are you talking about?" Ibrahim turned to Madam Titi, who was now shaking like a leaf in a hurricane. "Titi, my love, I'm tired of hiding. Let's tell everyone the truth. Tell them that you love me. Tell them that you and I have been together for almost a year. Tell them that you're going to leave him and marry me." If silence had a sound, this was it. Titi's face had turned from brown to grey to almost green. She looked like someone who swallowed a live frog. Bayo turned to his wife slowly, very slowly. "Titi, what is this man talking about?" Titi could not form words. Her mouth was opening and closing like a faulty tap. Ibrahim, thinking he was helping, continued, "My love, don't be shy. Talk. Remember all the beautiful times we spent together. The hotels, the sweet messages, the promises we made to each other. Remember, just last week when we went out to that beach house in Bonny Island, you told me you loved me more than anything in the world." With each word, Bayo's face was changing colors like a traffic light, from normal red to purple. The guests started whispering, "Chai, this woman has been cheating, no? All this while she has been forming holy. Now, wow, this one better pass African magico." Madam Titi's friend, who was standing nearby, couldn't hold it anymore. Titi, is this true? You've been accusing Bayo of cheating when you are the one with a side man? Another friend added, wait, sure you remember all those times she was investigating Bayo like he was a criminal. Meanwhile, she is the one that is the criminal. The bats both started flying around like arrows in a battle. This woman is wicked. She was testing him while she was failing her own test. Hypocrite, two-faced demon. Bayo's voice cut through the noise like a knife. Titi, look at me. Is this true? Madam Titi started crying. Real tears. Not the fake ones that she used when she was pretending to be hurt by her husband's cheating. Bayo, I can explain. Explain what? Explain what, Titi? Bayo's voice was shaking with anger and pain. Explain how you've been sleeping with another man while accusing me every single day of being unfaithful. Explain how you've been checking my phone, following me, testing me when you were the one betraying our marriage. Madam Titi fell to her knees. I'm sorry. It was a mistake. I don't love you. I love you. Ibrahim's face changed from romantic to shocked to angry. What? You don't love me? But you said, get out! Madam Titi screamed at Ibrahim. You've ruined everything. I ruined everything? Ibrahim shouted back. You're the one who's been lying to the both of us. You told me your marriage was dead. You said you were going to leave him. The katakata was now hotter than a pot of boiling oil. One of Bayo's friends stood up and said, Bros, Bayo, you see your life? This woman has been making you suffer, suspecting you of nonsense when she's the one where they misbehave. Pack your things and leave this witch. Bayo's mother, who was also at the party, fainted. People rushed to help her, fanning her with napkins and giving her water. When she woke up, she looked at Madam Titi with eyes full of fire. You this wicked child. You have been maltreating my son with your wahala and suspicions, and all along, you were the prostitute in this marriage. You're a disgrace to womanhood. Madam Titi was crying so hard that her makeup was running down her face like rainwater on a dusty road. Mama, please, forgive me. It was the devil. The devil used me. The devil my foot, Mama replied. The devil was on holiday when you were booking hotel rooms with that Hausa man. People started taking pictures and recording videos. Before the night ended, Madam Titi's disgrace was on every social media platform in Nigeria. Bayo just stood there looking at his wife like he was seeing her for the first time. All those months of her accusations, her investigations, her tests, all of them were because she was guilty. She was projecting her own sins onto him. Bayo, please. Madam Titi crawled to her husband on her knees. Please forgive me. I made a mistake. I'll end it with him. I'll never see her again. Please, let's just save our marriage. Bayo looked down at her, and for the first time, there was no love in his eyes. Just sadness and disappointment. Titi, you didn't just cheat on me. You tortured me. Every day, you accused me, investigated me, and made me feel like a criminal in my own marriage. And all that time, you were the one doing the crime. You know what hurts the most? I was faithful. Completely faithful. Every test you gave me, I passed. But you failed us both. He removed his wedding ring and placed it on the table. I'm done. Enjoy your perfect plan. You finally caught a cheater. Yourself. Bayo walked out of the restaurant. His friends were following him. The party that was supposed to expose him had exposed his wife instead. Madam Titi collapsed on the floor, wailing like a professional mourner at a funeral. No! Bayo, come back, please! But he didn't look back. Ibrahim, feeling foolish and used, also left, taking his ridiculous roses with him. The guests scattered like ants when you pour hot water on them. Nobody wanted to be associated with the scandal. By the next morning, videos of the disaster party had gone viral. Blogs were posting it with headlines like "Cheating wife exposed at husband's birthday party" and "Woman who tested her husband's loyalty caught with secret lover." Madam Titi became the most talked about person in Port Harcourt City, and not in a good way. People mocked her on the streets. Her friends avoided her like she had a contagious disease. Even her own family was ashamed of her. She tried to reach Bayo, calling him 1,000 times, sending messages, going to his office, but Bayo had blocked her everywhere. He had moved out of their house and filed for divorce. The irony was not lost on anyone. The woman who spent months trying to catch her husband in a trap had fallen into her own trap. The hunter had become the hunted. The investigator has been investigated and found guilty. 6 months later, Bayo divorced Madam Titi and married a humble, quiet girl from his village who trusted him completely and never once checked his phone. They lived happily. As for Madam Titi, she never recovered from the shame. Ibrahim also dumped her, saying he couldn't trust a woman who lied so easily to her own husband. She ended up alone, regretting everything. The birthday party videos continued to be shared for years, becoming a cautionary tale in Nigeria. The wife who was so busy testing her husband that she forgot she was cheating on him. The moral lesson of this story reminds us that our people have a proverb that the person who digs a pit for others will fall into it themselves. Before you start accusing others, check yourself. Before you start investigating your spouse, investigate your own heart. The finger you point at others has 3 fingers pointing back at you. Madam Titi's biggest mistake was not the cheating itself, though that was terrible, but the hypocrisy. She was busy creating tests for her innocent husband, while she herself was failing every test of marriage, faithfulness, honesty, and trust. When you are guilty of something, you become paranoid. You start seeing your sins in everyone else. A thief thinks everyone else is a thief. A liar thinks everyone is lying. And a cheater thinks everyone also cheats. If you spend your energy trying to catch others doing wrong instead of fixing yourself, karma would catch you instead. And when it does, the disgrace will be public and permanent. Trust your spouse. If you don't trust them, fix the relationship or leave it. Don't stay in a marriage while destroying it from the inside with suspicion and secret sins. And remember, what you do in secret will one day be exposed to the public. The truth always comes out, and when it does, make sure you are standing on the right side of it.